for Environment, Science and Technology. If you listen to the president yesterday, he paid tribute to all of them, including the crew who were flying the Air Force helicopter. You have Alhaji Muniru Mohammed Limuna, who is the acting deputy national security coordinator, the Dr. Samuel Sapon, vice chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Samuel Abuaji, a former parliamentary candidate, and the military officers involved. If you will remember, as squadron leader Peter Bafemi Anala, flying officer 9 Trum Ampedu, and Sergeant Ernest Adomensa. So the Sierra Leonean president's presence here has been very brief. He arrived a few minutes ago. He was received by the chief of staff, who introduced him to some top government officials, including the deputy chief of staff in charge of administration and the legal advisor to the president, Marietta Brew, after which he led him to the ceremonial gardens where he laid a flower, after which he was led to the foyer of the presidency where he signed a book of condolence. From the presidency, he will be led to the residence of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who will receive him and hear the message he has to share. But this is beautiful that as a country, as a president of a country far away within the sub-region, having been hit by this sad news, he has gone ahead to travel all the way to Ghana to demonstrate the goodwill the people of Sierra Leone have for Ghanaians. Earlier today, Her Excellency First Lady Lordina Mahama also passed through. The former Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Baumia also passed through. The Council of Elders of the NDC also passed through to lay flowers. So that has been the story. So between now and the end of the day, we'll be taking more of this, and then tomorrow we'll meet at the forecourt of the State House.
Yenua ya dinina Eric Anyanyo na yatene nka free Jubilee House abra ode reporter yenua num Sierra Leone for president Julius Bill Mada Bill obetumi be pimo Ghana ha maybe adrede ekukudam na jinkonya atena so say oman yedi areho ichie ni su Ghana yedin ufa baby Ghana yedin obia baby sase yeden Minister of State in the line of duty umkushi omo akwansi wo Sikamai Forest hwa de arehosem de abro my Ghana and the servicemen be military officers so omo no omo operate helicopter de asemi na bae no arehosem pa iguso ye na ebusuan ni cheni so na ya san ka che ebusuan se omo nhedin me wo Ivan Che Innocent wa ha or political analyst onye nipa foforo wo platform so saasune wo Abubakar Sadiq Sulemana ono so enye nipa foforo wo platform so communication and research team member the Greater Accra NDC chapter ekuku damina me no mo bedi enkomo mama Ivan Akwaba na bibia boko de
bending more than but nyame adoma hoden ho
yo mamina Sadiq Akwaba bibia ofie
boko
enche na oko mosque
sir
and minim say mo bompa de ma yenuanom yi chief imam rehosem
pa but bibia be si bia na ode amanyame because onuna odema ono so na oje se na Islam ya kanu ya kan say inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un ti whatever ebe sibia no yankopon na obese ebe hwene nim you know, so it's not an easy thing because me you know it's a shocking me kaka you know, in fact me say muntaka, so I called your friend is saying constituency, your friend is saying secretary Marwan, Ashanti region. That's a Sawasik constituency secretary. And maybe so I don't catch him say DB. Only MP Ekasa SCCR. But everything was okay.
Okay.
So now when a dilemma now course as I said, but because people also know say we have information and all that. But edu baby information maybe soon say ebi. You need to confirm, recheck before you can put it out there. So about there they say yeah sure for 8 and young ministers can masa it was a blow because I didn't see that say you can say ministers are through such a medium, such an accident, you know. And see that. So a idea a hiti personally a hiti me you know, especially when it comes to my friend, my good brother Murtala Muhammad. Very beautiful. So when it comes to advising you with regards to your life, advising you with regards to your politics, advising you with regards to whatever more progress, you know, and main focus anytime you talk to him, you know, ufa bibi a film.
Okay.
You know, so Ebomi, in fact, Dr. Mani Boama, fine gentleman, someone who is a potential someone in the party, in NDC, in the future. Former Minister of State, Mr. Lemuna, Honorable Lemuna, who also happens to be, I think, the farm manager of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And easy, we share pilot now. The CB obi muso an yirewu bi muso owarin chair, you know, and the trauma that thing comes with say bani family now and easy me bra owo bi ade you but owo bi e bani there it hits be hit you be shake you, you know. So easy.
Merasenti Abubakar Sadiq Suleiman da yetin kamamen ko Ivan Che innocent. Ivan
Nicholas
me yintiwe kwiada yanti asem papa my Black Wednesday into.
Yes. Because me ko use Black Wednesday and because I can Dark Wednesday.
Dark Wednesday, yo.
Black enya the bonnet.
Okay.
I think it was tragic. And I'm not sure say any of us here can find any appropriate words yeah, the best describe it, what happened. Because for me, sitting here, I don't believe say Omane Mutala. I don't believe, like I said, Obi can't story be actual, and you just want to, because it's something that is very, very, very difficult to accept. This is the reality, but unfortunately, it is the senior, and I should be able to me. I kind of say, yes, tender your heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family. Obia, some of them, and you have personal attachment with 4 of the persons who are involved in this particular accident, and I think that is very tragic. Yakase nipo obia bewu, but sometimes kwanya befa so abewu no, and ya asem Nico say ote helicopter na elusu control because they city and no a somersault will wiem. So matisa man for a bisasa na parachute wa hen na deben sometimes I think in some number unya to wase na tiase helicopter ya dey out na the first thing you do is about seat belt. And this are then lusu control na somersault will wiem anya to say plane na betimi nanti wo ma me kwa kofa ade na se for no such a near man of craving no cry no in home and a cockable for my enna so her jet fuel one of the most combustible, the most inflammable fuels I was as way so and sinano na me making reference I will call the World Trade Center and Microphone Moko hijack plane the Cobol World Trade Center. No, one of the planes, now Omo say a failure with jet fuel. I will because Omo say a very explosive. And one of the jets no Moko now you load jet fuel room. And I'm go hijack the boom. So any plane in a course of that particular fire, sir, and I'm fuel na a woman, and the man exploding the kind of devastating impact in ya sana we I deal with your cobon as an impact in the swan. The likelihood say jatoma anoba deno because jet fuel na nkasa will power the distance the combustion, you know, ama anwa den. And so images in as for circulate here is very bad. And we back Ghana for this attitude of I want to be the first person to break the news. But we should know that the very people involved are individuals and they have families.
Yes.
And whenever we are circulating some of these things, we have to be very circumspect in showing some of these things. You understand? For instance, now I was worried about Nipa body. I just said Gubotoma yede call, but the explanation is yes. Explanation is not the bodies were so hot. Say omuntimin fan share body bag into they needed to transport those. The explanation, but
ventilation
exactly. Yes, but I think those or more those pictures. You know, it's quite unfortunate. We need to educate ourselves now and stop it some of these things because Nico Obakaya similar thing happened in the US. Kobe Bryant,
yes,
only so similar helicopter way. Yes, police for no call scene, no could pictures no more post to ye. Near a settlement over $28 million. That is how Sanima we are for taking it serious. Because some of these things, you know, scar about until forever. Just imagine like somebody like Omana Boama, Nema Meti TV, so and the last image Obenya, sad near my way and the bias is about do you see how painful it is? Utu no Kayo Bana, this is what comes to mind. So I think that yeah, prayer now no lumba we ubehana social media man forces a microphone, the kurasi ni penny say an interview, and also try yes. Nipa na ono ti the baby a wo de abare na dwene say the opportunity to be on TV this lumba in the beginning come ya kofa confusion to family because of some of these I think
even we cram ko fa shase Kwesikama village ho be obi okro
exactly yes
and when na be mo bloggers in be akoko krum
yes
ankwala na no be so
and people have started weaving conspiracy theories obi ane de enka se obi antumi nka ba asem no wo kan make sure so when so dia wo kan and you say we also dealing with family omo alusu somebody and people who are very significant. Abuaje for instance was a personal friend. I've been to his house your friend is saying Obuase Abuaje. And I remember
Samuel Abuaje.
Yes. I remember Olusu elections na back and forth. Now I was on phone with him for almost 1 hour and over. And this is somebody
yes,
he has been coming to me as well. So that relationship is there, so you can understand. And yes, and the Honorable Mutala is somebody I've been admiring from afar. I like the way and analysis, very frank, like Asemno. And over the years, whenever I'm doing analysis, I make reference to in some what can say or in the back can say or he doesn't believe say honorable more different parliamentarians no deserve because on one hand na include for name bi omo no ha or he doesn't feel comfortable. This is somebody or cannot be straightforward and within analysis and that's what means that this is really an intelligent person. Honorable Omanebo this is a very young man NDC IT from with a medical background what blended with politics and how now of me and I started hearing stories the kind of Nipa wabu omo Nipa wa establish omo as a young man in politics and your friend is saying a man for a day before obewu no yes social media video be by akra no de your friend is saying plastic chair and a nante Okohu family no in surgery and he paid for everything. So that could be his last act of benevolence on social media. And I'm told that is what he has been doing. Wow. You understand? Wow. And there are a lot of young guys in the NDC who can say I am here because of Omanabuama.
Yes.
What I say. And so these are the kind of impact I'm making on individuals. And then Honorable Samuel Sapong, yes, I also I've encountered him a couple of times. I also very nice person who the first time I didn't even know say he will notice, but he called me by my name, kind of way, and a whole lot. So I think it's not just the family. you will be and the difficult aspect of it is and your private job you know mo kwakoya na ade we see omo kwakoso mo man. And that is very tragic. So I think across the political divide, we need to bury our political differences. Now you said these people, I call them the great 8. See, the big 6. We need to tag them the great 8. Now, eulogize omo memory. Now, man for who say, so cool more mind. Now in line of duty, so the nation will never forget you because very often we forget about people. I think we need to do something eulogize on memory because any private job no more yet. Yes, I'm for but in line of duty like this, and these are individuals. I think there's something need to be done. For that kind of and unfortunately I listened to some terrible, despicable comment from people who should know better, like Kofi Apalu on one of the channels, which is somehow I think that this is not the time for such irresponsible, reckless comment. You understand? Because say krana no say nipa no makam no omufie busia omo abusia. And they say, I'm not sure. Say sometimes the best. Yes, say Okawa no tuma. You be a brilliant and me. What as I'm and asambana say wundi sheka. You better shut up and just let those who speak to speak and those who mourn will mourn. Because sa ade we ya you mean so you busi ni na sa ade we ya to a. Men yes sure say ubetimi akase ubu eni aguso anasa kokika nsema wo kan. And then I was very happy when the president made an assurance say an investigation will be started. Ade ba kwa kroma yenya ho ade sa na ema we ade we sia yemfa manyame sa yemfa manyame sa na ema no I'm not sure say nyansa sama say yemfa manyame. Yes, nyame life in dem say belong to nyame, but we all must also do some investigation who what actually happened. In going forward, the be avert similar occurrence. What I say, an accident at this stage is what we can say. But now that the black box has been recovered, according to the Ashanti regional minister, whatever conversation that transpired between the pilot and the control tower, and within, everything will be recorded, and I'm sure we will get a fair idea what exactly happened here, because this particular helicopter way has been involved in a lot of near accident situations. You understand? So we have to know whether time and you do for servicing, for the current state of way. There are a lot of forensic, I think, investigation that has to be conducted. These things are about public, you can't just shelve it and sweep it under the carpet. And I think that transparency must be accommodated. Exactly what happened. Now your man is move on. The situation like this, the best way to give you the family closure. Wama Ghana for closure. And yes, sir. We investigate for exactly what happened, and I think the kind of conspiracy theories people are just throwing around, because my culture said we are not just makers of news, we are all prosumers. People are producing, making and lay content. People are selling content for money, and for people who just try to create their own news, and some of this false narrative. One way, it will become the established narrative. Family uncomfortable. One of the uncles interview, and they see I say Adeba Ashena Chase a kind of ya pa any accident na sino na nye no more na mum sa kuku botona ya carry a move na ye video a man for the nam no de obi kon ho it's obisuna or they call, and just imagine say papa and that is the memory you have, and it's very terrible, you understand. So I think that my proposal is that going forward, parliamentarians will need to propose a legislation. I be dealing with some of the Nico car betting your ball. I'm a nurse. I know say a car bombs is here at the moment, and somebody can do CPR, basic things to revive you. But you want to see the problem with when she check camera a video. And there are some background now of accident, road accident. Yes.
na nipa no instead of so kobo nipa no try the first
yes or the social media because I mean I'm posting when something could have been done to save. So I think that some of these things, some of these sensitive images and as a forum no, we need to weave a legislation that bar man for especially obi any accident, those sensitive graphics, you know, yan shamra be ban people from posting. And now say some of these social media platforms, you know, we can engage them, Facebook, YouTube, wherever we can engage them, say within this territory, some of these explicit photos, you know, we should not allow them. I think Facebook and other platforms have those policies. The choir, you show a blue high, the catastrophe catcher, say sensitive graphic. And I think some of these things going on platforms, what's happening as a forum, Mamma and Casabella, a month for best send the video, we are fond of doing those things. So I think that we need to do proper legislation. I am banning a month from doing some of these things. And within the media space, and a month for us, when it comes to some of these experiences, as a new blogging kakresi kabi obenyantino whole lot of dirty news na you true without being sensitive say nipa no every family member nipa hwade. And I think that is really bad. But as a young man, I think that we should be inspired by what these people lived for. That is very, very important. My man helping and inspiring a lot of young people. Where he got to, he has been able to honorable Mutala, where he's coming from. And he's one of the selfless individuals I've seen. This is somebody very passionate about Ghana. He has been an anti-corruption crusader for a very long time. I listened to a video, no I care the young MPs. So we are Mansika ala bebu attain. You see how passionate he is, and also don't know your debates and then as for Abuaji has been a very fine gentleman, and then Metis and Obi honorable Samuel Sapon Samu Kumase
Abuaji crowd so yes or last born.
Now
I think that the heartbreaking way I met say the pilot.
But 2 months ago.
No, pilot, you know. This year, Olusu the sister.
Oh, okay.
And I was here losing the brother. So he's the third.
Okay.
That is the story going around if it is true.
Okay.
So you can imagine, and the mother is alive. You can imagine the pain that person is going through. This same 2025 way. So my mena Lusu and mommy and son. So we will share the images like this. You should be very careful and you should be guided. So family no aka ha your man o man ya nete but be o be social media no so cops be. So when you're weaving your conspiracy theories and then as for now be very careful and be very mindful. It's not about getting the clicks on social media. It is about the sensitivity of how this and how painful it is. I did way a heartbreaking and heart-wrenching experience. And I was at the Jubilee House and I may follow this kind of your friend is a memorial service and also President Mahama Baye. You could see this is a man who is visibly shattered. Broken inside because you see Niamani Sisi first one ever I self guilt, especially when the person is going to represent you. A question about Musa what I say. So you could see the president is highly devastated. The vice president, honorable your friend said Julius. Everybody was sharing tears and then as before because this is something that you can't analyze it, you can't explain. There are just you can't do anything that make sense out of some of these things. Obia, the air was heavy with grief, pain, and sorrow. And Obia Brifibi, and the atmosphere at the Jubilee House yesterday was that of your friends saying sorrow, and then as a fall. So I think, say, as a nation, we must all come together and celebrate this great eight. Now you're making sure, say, what they lived for, their legacy will be in our memory, will be on the consciousness of Ghanaian people for a very long time. Now young Kaya say we 9 day wonder we are forgetting real. I think say we need to do something to build the legacy for
that's papa wonderful submission if Ivan Che innocent wo mamen call Abubakar Sadiq Suleiman Sadiq into
Nicholas I didn't see it there. To be honest with you, it's very devastating. We know, sir, Xavier Canon, and I say, Ivan Akano, or will be a woo. But be a son of a fed you know, and then I say, I touch Ghanaians. I just can't picture, say, now, what is going on? You see now, it was being called. ɛna nipa kɔ no ɛnkɔɛ ɛna especially Mutala ɛna yɛsi obra Mutala kɔ. You see, Uncle Nimanka say this is what is going to happen, Uncle Uncle. So we imagine say omo a room hundreds of feet. Now you see they were off the radar.
Yeah.
They knew maybe omo. That anxiety, that pain. At that time, no mutina helicopter no. What is going on? It didn't cause war. Omu team. Who say no. The thinking. You see, isn't sure. Hey, brah, and easy. It is. So I understand His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the way he was shattered. We know his closeness with almost all of them. He's very close with them. Now, Abani say, Wasmao, this is Wasmao, we call you with mommy on my behalf. Now, dear Meteno, I see you've lost your soul. And you're easy, my brother. And you're easy. So, I know, say the family is going through a lot. And now, let me buttress the point of Ivan. Who say a flight never tore hormone, and I say helicopter never tore hormone. What we should have done, and I think we know. Let me use this medium to congratulate the people of Sikama. They did well. They were bold. They were brave. Just in case there's a survivor.
Is it from town?
2 hours.
2
hours journey.
A forest in
a 2 hours journey.
A mountain.
You see, a 2 hours journey.
Easy.
And so you should tell you say but they got there trying to almost say they can save her. It's a bravery, but when it comes to destiny, let's sensitize the minds of Ghanaians. Say it becomes a crime scene.
According to a Sena, my witness in a crow, or just a backroom hole.
Very. That was, I think, that was when they were struggling because say fog go horse. You say. Who says aeroplane now? The airplane will have to go through the fog. No, I brighter.
Yes, top.
But when we say helicopter, sir. So I think that was when they were struggling. Emma, what happened? And then so a broso.
Serious.
You know when it crashes. Fine. So I'm not sure. Say, but us going back to what I was trying to say, say we say Sia. It becomes a crime scene. Forensic, it was a boom. So what I say, the cause of what happened, yes, we all know, say, there was a blast in Kofu, but at least, they'll gather some information that will help us in the future too. So, in as much as we are congratulating them, say, we are there, they've done so well, but next time, let's try as much as possible now. Yama police from Braho, no more cordon hormone. Now, just in case of anything, I'm bet to me some information just to support us. Aside that, also, with regards to the flight, this is a particular flight, other countries somewhat that particular flight. I don't want to make mention of that flight.
The campaign,
yes, it's a particular one. So maybe say young government, and bueno. But it's Ashanti Gold there also, and your government there.
So
it's in custody of the military, but a gold company be there. So I say, I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name, but it's a Yomudia, and it's in the custody of the military. So I believe say military in some there. When it comes to maintenance, they do it very well. Ghana military is one of the most experienced military in Africa. So I say, so we don't know what's happened. All those conspiracy theories just to try to put the military in bad name or the government or whatever. No, this is not the time. That is why we need a forensic audit to make sure say, what caused the accident? It could be say a nature because that is what caused it. But let's be mindful. Say say helicopters to hold and I say just in case of accident crash and a car will be motor above you yen train now those responsible no everybody so that they'll gather any information there. Apart from that, you know, so Nicholas, we have very, very wicked men in this country. Very wicked people in this country. We share social media. People are trying to equalize. Say, I see I'm an MP for. See, I say, I see I'm an MP.
But I don't say, and the crowd, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Koi. What's my man?
Yeah, so that
acting Chief Justice.
And I can say, we have very wicked men in this country. I say, politics. I'm with politics. Because I belong to A, say, Missima Bia, Minisa Abadayano, Emma B. And that is not it. Look, before politics, we are Ghanaians. So as I say, before politics, we live in our homes together. Before politics, we have friends who belong to the other side. It's just by choice. Say we were MPP, we were NDC, and our CPP, and our other party. And see, let's guide ourselves. Look, the African tradition is one of harmony. The African tradition is one of solidarity. The African is one of obia, BBC ofia, meet me aba, sleep there, make sure say, you know, we work with my support. But Sisiano, we have young boys they just want traction. Because of traction, or the Facebook, you know, you can say he's the first auditor, no you know, it's very wrong. First image I mean here, me delete here, was the one I mean here. If I can't who I wash it. So I just and it's very boring. Very gory, Nicholas. And bloggers, you say you guys want to eat, you guys want to get informations, and this time information sells. But the fact of the matter is here, there are certain things. So what I mean here, you'll be blamed for. Sure, imagine say, Papa, I could see you with school. Now, President Asumano. Now I see, oh no, don't worry. Maybe I'm telling you, I'll pick you with school. Now, that trauma. And
some me ya crown is a benim say Mosomotea. May I say Dr. Maniboa Macron. Many power in a train because to catch room say on check into a more appointment of show one. Or say by one, it's not one or quan upon non foot in a train.
I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing.
Mutala so I had a tea or more train was a catch room so quaba. Tell a lift captain a train or more. No sign no mama.
See. No, who's there? Who's there? Human beings and we have to be very careful in whatever we do. Now people are quoting Murtala Mohammed. People are quoting the benevolence of his side of benevolence, and the side of Umaniba his benevolence, and Sapon and all. Whatever you do today, Ochina, Kofebeka Hansen. We papa
sanity.
We are born and sanity. Now I know wherever they are smiling down because of the good works are there. So to be honest with you, they died as heroes, in the line of duty, and I believe, say, the state will forever remember the aged people. Apart from that, and so Nicholas. What's the name of this political party? Man now can't answer.
LPG.
Nicholas, I think, with this whole thing, we must concentrate on fighting Galamsey. And I think the state must be very radical in its approach in dealing with this thing, because before elections, one of the topics we are leading the conversation in the devastating impact of Galamsey. How I won't cry, Mutibo Humienu, Yabu been a neighbor Quimihoniti, Sanema way because of the chemicals and toxic materials are very often among for you to do some of these things. You see, nothing has changed. The only thing that has changed is but the mentality, the Ghanaian and our attitude is the same. The greed pursuit, is the same thing. I think say we say obi hot or tin baby now say oh MPP ko yam so ya buy na abanti aduru ye so And these things are a motivation for a lot of people to go ahead and do some of these things. Yes, so I think that in as much as I appreciate the fact that the state is trying to do something, but I think that it's not enough. We need to be very radical because and I'm sad there we soon and galamsey gidi I mean just some common program there. You understand? So I think that in honoring their memory, the best thing we can do is to crack down on these illegal miners. Now you're making sure say Sanyama way by Adia Bekase and I'm so my mind share no thing am I deal away with galamsey say I'm for besha banyachi yes ya ban na ba duru so that kind of crocodile John way na man for shemurem because now I'm hear videos be a emrante ni police for timenya kokoduru a yes change fire yes omu two police photo na police for so two omu be in the name of galamsey because almost say police for no ban omu man I don't like it's absolute nonsense, you understand? So I think that we need to find a way to go away with some of these things. And the program, I think, with the legendary KKD. Or he's watching the program. Okay. And Baby will be a big boss.
Senior Ivan Kayano, Galamsey, the I know, sir, the government is doing everything possible to fight it. And in fighting Galamsey, no, you just cannot fight it like that. But maybe I will palm for every forest. No more. That's why the government is trying to do all this cooperative mining. No, now for the young, the youth should go into it. Okay. So the government is resolving it, and definitely His Excellency during the election time. No, and I know definitely he is going to do it.
Okay.
Let's take the opportunity with the chairman constituency.